All right, we'd like to welcome you to our Thanksgiving program. The boys and girls have made costumes and have learned lots of songs and finger plays to do for you today. All right, boys and girls, everybody look up this way. The first thing we're going to do is act out the story of the first Thanksgiving. Once upon a time, the people of England were in trouble. They decided they would leave England because the king would not let them go to the church of their choice. The Pilgrims got on a big ship called the Mayflower, and they sailed across the ocean. They sailed for 3 long months. Then one morning, the children saw the land, and they knew it was the Pilgrims were glad to have arrived. The Pilgrims cut down trees and built log houses. Many didn't live through that first winter. They were glad when spring arrived. One day an Indian came to visit the Pilgrims. The Indian was glad to see the white men and welcomed them. His name was Squanto. He returned often and brought his Indian friends with him. They showed the Pilgrims how to plant corn and how to catch fish. Then they returned to their village. When summer was ended and the crops were gathered in, the Pilgrims said, "Let's have a feast and celebrate Let's invite our friends the Indians." So the men went hunting and shot deer and wild turkey. Some went fishing and dug for clams. The women gathered berries and nuts and grapes. The women baked many good things to eat. At last, Thanksgiving Day came. The Pilgrims and Indians sat down at long tables to eat. After dinner, they had fun. The Indians did a dance. The children ran races and played games. When the Indians left, the Pilgrims said, "Every year we shall have this feast to celebrate Next, we'd like to sing a song for you called The 10 Little Indians. 1 little, 2 little, 3 Indians, 4 little, 5 little, 6 little Indy, 7 little, 8 little, 9 little Indy, 10 little Indian boys. Each one rode a spotted pony, each one rode a spotted pony, each one rode a spotted pony, 10 little Indian boys. Each one did an Indian war dance, each one did Indian war dance, each one did Indian war dance, 10 little Indian boys. Each one shot a big fat turkey, each one shot a big fat turkey, each one shot a big fat turkey, 10 little Indian boys. Each one paddled a little canoe, each one paddled a little canoe, each one paddled a little canoe. Splash went little Indian boys. Next, we'd like to do a finger play called Mr. Duck and Mr. Turkey. Hands behind your back. Everybody talk loud. Mr. Duck went out to walk on Thanksgiving Day. He met Mr. Turkey on the way. They stopped to talk together. Gobble, gobble. Quack, quack, quack. Gobble, gobble, gobble. Quack, quack, quack. And then they both went back. Next, we'd like to do a finger play called the turkey. There once was a turkey, very fat, who loved to gobble, gobble. But when he made that funny sound, his head would bobble, bobble. He always loved to spread his tail. His waddle is so bright. Between the bobble and the waddle, he's such a funny sight. Next, we'd like to sing a song called The Turkey Gobbles. Everybody needs to sing. The turkey talks, gobble, 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 gobble. The turkey talks, gobble, gobble, all day long. The turkey walks, wobble, 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 wobble. The turkey walks, wobble, wobble, all day long. Next, we'd like to act out the story of the brave little Indian, and this is one of the children's favorite stories. Once upon a time, there was a brave little Indian. He said to his happy little Indian friends, "I am going hunting to find a grizzly bear." So he walked out the gate and he slammed it. He hadn't walked far till he saw a rabbit, but he didn't see a bear, so he walked on. He came to a bridge and he walked across. But he hadn't walked far till he saw a deer, but he didn't see a bear, so he walked on. Soon he came to a ditch. He couldn't step across, so he backed up. He said, "I jumped ditch." He started to run. Faster, faster, faster. He jumped and he landed on the other side. Then he walked on. He hadn't walked far till he came to a river. He jumped in and he swam across. Then he jumped out and he walked on. He saw a bear. Whoa! He turned around and he ran down the hill. He jumped into the river and he swam across. He jumped out and he ran on. He jumped over the ditch and he ran on. He saw a deer, but he ran on. He ran across the bridge. He saw a rabbit, but he ran on. When he got home, he slammed the gate and he said, and the other little Indians said, ugh. And that's the story of the brave little Indian. This next song that we want to sing, we've changed for Thanksgiving. Instead of if you're happy and you know it, it's if you're thankful and you know it. Everybody sing out and watch here so we can all stay together. If you're thankful and you know it, clap your hands. If you're thankful and you know it, clap your hands. If you're thankful and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're thankful and you know it, clap your hands. If you're thankful and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're thankful and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're thankful and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're thankful and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're thankful and you know it, shout hooray. Hooray! If you're thankful and you know it, shout hooray. Hooray! If you're thankful and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're thankful and you know it, shout hooray. Hooray! If you're thankful and you know it, do all three. Hooray! If you're thankful and you know it, do all three. if you're thankful and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're thankful and you know it, do all three. Hooray! Our next finger play is called Mr. Turkey and the Pumpkin. Thanksgiving Day is coming, so Mr. Turkey said, now I must be real careful or I shall lose my head. The pumpkin heard the turkey. I'm frightened too, oh my. They'll mix me up with sugar and spice and I'll be a pumpkin pie. Our next one's called Mr. Turkey Gobbler. Mr. Turkey Gobbler feels so sad. He stands around and moans. Tomorrow there'll be nothing left but just his poor old bones. Our next song is called 5 Fat Turkeys. 5 fat turkeys are we. We sat all night in a tree. When the cooks came around, we couldn't be found. So that's why we're here, you see. And next we'd like to sing a song called The Turkey. The turkey is a funny bird, his head goes bobble, bobble. The turkey makes a funny sound, gobble, gobble, gobble. The turkey is a funny bird, his head goes bobble, bobble. The turkey makes a funny sound, gobble, gobble, gobble. And next we'd like to sing Thanksgiving dinner, and this is about everything we like to eat at Thanksgiving dinner time. Ready? We eat turkey, we eat turkey, oh so good, oh so good. Always on Thanksgiving, always on Thanksgiving. Yum, 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 yum. Mashed potatoes, mashed potatoes, oh so good, oh so good. Always on Thanksgiving, always on Thanksgiving. Yum, 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 yum. Turkey gravy, turkey gravy, oh so good, oh so good. Always on Thanksgiving, always on Thanksgiving. Yum, 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 yum. Homemade biscuits, homemade biscuits. Oh, so good, oh, so good. Always on Thanksgiving, always on Thanksgiving. Yum, 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 yum. Pie and ice cream, pie and ice cream. Oh, so good, oh, so good. Always on Thanksgiving, always on Thanksgiving. Yum, 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 yum. That is the singing part of our program. We would like for the Indians to bow.